Here's how to lose fat while eating out, part 1. I'm looking for one thing, and that's protein. I want to get as much protein as I can in because that's the hardest macronutrient to get. So when you're eating out, look for high amounts of protein where the carbs and fats are minimal. So here's the thing. One mistake I see all too often is guys will get stuff that has protein in it, but it's what we call baby protein portions. Something like the classic that has some sausage, some bacon, and some sausage links with hash browns and all this other shit. The portion of the protein is not really gonna be that significant because when you think about sausages, bacon, eggs, they have protein, but they got a lot of fats too. So it's almost not worth it. Same thing with what I see a lot of guys do, fucking salads. Think about a salad, what's in there? Mostly greens and vegetables, which is really healthy, and they sprinkle in maybe an ounce or two of protein. What you want to do is this. If your goal is to get lean, maybe you get like the smoked salmon. The salmon is pretty much in a fillet by itself, and they've got a little bit of eggs and whatnot on the side. You can also get something like the steak and eggs because the steak is gonna have a few more grams of protein than what you would get in just some eggs by itself. So that way you're boosting your protein numbers without killing your carbs and fats for the day. Now, if this was helpful and you want more tips on how to eat out and lose that fat, go ahead, drop a fire emoji below and I'll make part 2. Here's how to lose fat while eating out, part 2. As you can see, I got steak, eggs, potatoes, and a bunch of sauce and shit I'm not gonna eat. And one of the biggest things that I see guys make a mistake of doing when they're on the go is not tracking. You ain't tracking, you slacking. Because essentially, you out here winging it with no scoreboard to see how many calories you're consuming versus how much you're burning. To lose fat, you gotta be in a deficit. And here's some things that help me stay in a deficit. First and foremost, I'm gonna weigh out everything individually. The tips that I would give you is this. Each one of these portions I would track on something like MyFitnessPal, and I would actually enter them in individually. Let's say you have this steak and you don't have a food scale like me. You could easily just put in ribeye, steak, and one thing that I like to use is just 4 ounces as sort of a default serving. Most places are gonna give you 4-ounce portions. Another way to test it is just take your palm and actually put it against whatever you're gonna use. That's usually 4 ounces. As you can see, this is actually a little over 4 ounces, probably more like 6. So I can say, all right, this is 4 ounces of eggs. This is about 6 ounces of potatoes. It's not gonna be accurate. It's not about being accurate. It's about getting as close to it as possible and obviously keeping a running track record of your consumption. If this was helpful and you want me to create a strategy for you to eat on the go, click that link below and I'll actually send you an application where I'll review personalized information as it pertains to you and your goals to help you get to the next level. Here's how to lose fat while eating out, part 3. Plan your day ahead. I can't tell you how many times I talk to guys who are just winging it when it comes to their nutrition and they're just eating on the fly. They call themselves eating healthy, but essentially they're getting to the point in the day, at the end of the day, where they're having a big ass meal that's destroying their calories for the day, or worse, they're not even tracking calories to even be aware of what their intake should look like. What I do is something simple. If I know I'm gonna be eating out, I plan my day around that big meal because I know the calories will be a lot higher than anything that I would consume. Let's say for dinner I'm going out, I would eat lighter earlier in the day. Maybe take out a serving of carbohydrates or fats or just lower my portion sizes to make room for that bigger meal at the end of the day. Another thing that I like to do is fast until the feast, or in you guys' case, fast until the filth, because you're out here eating filthy meals that got your belly all big as hell. So what you can do, instead of just going overboard with your consumption, condense your calories to a smaller window of time. Maybe you only eat a few hours before that last meal, or you wait until that last meal to eat and focus on just hydration, getting your electrolytes in, obviously doing your training and things like that. That's going to help you get into a calorie deficit that much faster. And hey, if this was helpful and you want me to give you a personalized approach to your lifestyle to get to the goals, go ahead, click the link below. I'll send you an application for you to tell me more about your specific needs and even give you a personalized video addressing what you would need to do to get to the next level. This is something I call my double entree special. Anytime I go to a restaurant, I get 2 entrees and actually get extra meat. Pause. Because what we're doing is prioritizing protein. It's the main macronutrient associated with muscle growth, muscle retention, and it's gonna help keep that metabolism running so that you burn more fat long term. But the reason I like to get a lot of protein is it keeps you fuller longer. Really all this is a double chicken bowl. You can't see all the chicken, but it's underneath. And there's even a little bit of beans for some fiber to keep you more satiated and full. Bunch of veggies on top. And this is a double carne asada bowl with just vegetables. Essentially just jacking my protein up as high as I can for the day, keeping my carbs and fats low so that I can either use that for some other food items that are a little bit more controlled in portion sizes, or just keep it low carb, low fat for the day and just fill up on protein so that I can stay in that deficit and still be satisfied. Now, if this was helpful and you want more tips on eating on the go and staying ripped, I wrote a whole guide on how to get a six-pack completely free. Comment the word six-pack below and I'll send it to you. Here's my favorite fat loss meal at Subway. A lot of you travel and you don't know what to get on the go to stay on your diet. The key is burn more calories than you consume, but that's not long-term sustainable. What is long-term sustainable is loading up on high volume foods and maxing out on protein. I'm gonna show you the easiest way to do it at a restaurant you can find any fucking where. We've got 2 double chicken salads. They call them protein bowls now. And essentially together, this is about 500 calories and about 40 to 50 grams of protein collectively. Now here's the thing, this is a foot long. This motherfucker alone is 1,000 calories. So you got 1,000 calories in this, and then you've got 500 calories here. Looks like it's a bunch more food, which means it's gonna be more filling. So which would you rather do? Eat this shit, burn through a bunch of your calories and be hungry again, fast as fuck, or eat this, be fuller longer, and not compromise your fat loss goals? You choose. If this was helpful and you want more tips on how to eat on the go properly, drop a flex emoji in the comments and I'll make more videos. Stop making this mistake when eating at restaurants. Getting fat people foods. What do I mean by that? My clients do it all the time. Getting these sides like French fries, mac and cheese, fucking chips, bunch of needless carbs and fats that's keeping their belly big as hell. Here's what you should do as a side item instead. Get you an additional serving of protein. As you can see, I'm here at Pura Vida. I got my salmon plate with some rice and some veggies on, and on the side, I just got me some more protein. And the reason I did that is protein is the main macronutrient that you gotta focus on to get ripped, because it's gonna help you build muscle, maintain muscle, recovery from workouts, and it's gonna help you stay fuller to stay in the deficit to lose body fat. Guys, if this was helpful and you want more content like this, comment a flex emoji below and I'll do more. Here's some of my favorite breakfast foods to get ripped. A lot of guys are just going after breakfast foods strictly for flavor, and all that's doing is keeping their stomach big as hell. If you get more protein in your diet, 2 things will happen. 1, it's actually gonna keep you more satisfied and full, making it less likely for you to overconsume and much easier to stay in a calorie deficit. But the second thing is when you consume more protein, especially if you're training, you're going to develop a faster metabolism, meaning that your body's gonna burn more calories at rest. Look to get your protein that isn't mixed with a whole bunch of other shit. Something like the chicken and waffles, for example. Now you motherfuckers know, if you get some chicken and waffles, what kind of chicken is it gonna be? Fried chicken with that breading, which is gonna come with excess carbs and fats that's gonna jack your calories up. Another thing y'all do is get fucking catfish and grits. Again, fucking trash. Or smoked sausage. Sausages are more fats than they are protein. I'm a big fan of going with something like the sirloin steak, which has a great amount of protein in comparison to the healthy fats and no carbs at all. So something like steak, and then maybe adding in some fat sources on the side or even carb sources depending on my macros for the day. If you need more help with how to actually put together a strategy that incorporates your favorite breakfast foods and help you get lean and stay lean, go ahead and type the word shred below and I'll see if you're a good fit for the Armstrong Army. Here's 3 hacks to help you get ripped eating at restaurants. So number 1 is you're gonna wanna plan ahead. A lot of guys complain that when it comes to eating out, they have no clue what to eat and are constantly on the go and sabotaging their success by eating all this bullshit that keep their stomach big. But that excuse actually keeps you fat. Most of us know where we're gonna be throughout the day when the day starts. So if you know you haven't planned ahead for lunch, you're probably gonna eat somewhere for lunch. Or the same goes for dinner, or the same goes for a business function, or even a date night. You know before that shit's gonna happen. So what you wanna do, and this is what I encourage my clients to do, is actually plan their day around that restaurant meal. Actually maybe fast up into a bigger feast or condense the amount of calories that you're gonna consume to make room for a bigger meal at a restaurant. This video is getting kind of long, so if you want hacks 2 and 3, I wrote a whole guide laying everything out. It's called the Big Belly Blaster. Type the word course below and I'll send it to you for free. Get ripped at restaurants with this hack. You won't believe how easy it is to eat foods on the go and still maintain success in your fitness journey. A lot of guys have this misconception that it's hard to eat right at restaurants, but that excuse is actually keeping you big as hell. Here's what I teach my clients. Make your life simple. Track what you eat and get things that are simple to track. As you see here, I have salmon with some quinoa and some veggies. Real simple mixture. And all I do is something called individual entry when I put it into MyFitnessPal. I find out how much this salmon is in ounces. I'm just gonna estimate because my hand is about 4 ounces. It's a little bit more than that, so it's somewhere between 6 to 8. So I undershoot protein and I just put 6 ounces of salmon in here. Then we gotta account for what? The carb source. The quinoa is really difficult to tell how much, so I'll just use the standard serving size of 4 ounces. Lastly, we want to account for the oil that I know that they use. So I just put in olive oil and then I just use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Overshooting my calories intentionally just in case there's some things that I missed. I also do this. I take this motherfucking sauce and I throw it away. We only want our protein, our carbs, our fats, the good stuff. And if this was helpful and you want more content on the do's and don'ts of eating on the go, go ahead, drop a fire emoji below and I'll make more videos like this. Get ripped at restaurants with this hack. You're probably wondering, Coach Corey, how you eating this big ass bowl of carbs and fruits and not getting big as hell? Well, there's 3 secrets that I learned through my journey of losing 50 pounds in 5 months, and I teach it to my clients as well to help them with their success. Number 1, know your macros. Every single day for the past 9 years, I've been tracking my calories in an app called MyFitnessPal. It's completely free, and essentially what it gives me is data on the foods that I consume. All I gotta do is enter it in, and I get a scoreboard every day as it pertains to how my nutrients are actually impacting my progress towards my goals. The second thing I utilize is something called intermittent fasting. This is an eating pattern where you actually structure your day's calories within a window of time. It's literally just taking more hours out of the day to let your body burn through stored nutrients and other hours to actually fuel you for muscle strength and performance. And lastly it's a big secret. I incorporate cheat days. Yes, cheaters do win. It's days where I intentionally go for higher amounts of calories so that I continue to refeed my body's hormones for fat loss so I never stall out. I combine all 3 in a method called the alternating macro fast. If you want to learn how to do that for your goals, go ahead, comment the word shred below and I'll see if you're a good fit for the Armstrong Army.